Welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all, and in this video, we are diving into the full release build of Season 10, the new DLC, which, as I record this, is out today on all systems. Now, real quick, right here at the top, I do want to let y'all know that the truck that I am using is a PC-only truck, and if you want to check it out for yourselves, I'll leave a link to the Patreon of the creator in the description down below. But again, it is a paid PC-only truck that I'm using, but you can do all of the things we're about to talk about with any truck. A console mod, a vanilla game truck, whatever you want to do. This is just a Season 10 introduction for those of you that may have just picked it up and may not have watched my public test server content. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fire this thing up, and I'm going to go over with y'all some of the kind of tricks and little things that you could do to give yourself a better start in Season 10. Now, this is the first map in the Season 10 region. It's a 2-map region. You have Duncan Bay, and you also have North Peak National Park. Now, what I recommend doing first is I recommend getting a couple of these watchtowers unlocked. It's kind of like the standard, but the biggest thing that you want to do right out of the gate is make sure that you drive around to the other side of the garage so y'all can get a little bit of a handle on what the environment is going to be like and what your base of operations is going to look like. You've got a trailer store right here, and then over here you have one of the most important logistical aspects of this first map, which is the ferry. Now, the ferry, I've already done a tutorial video on how to unlock it. But essentially, a quick walkthrough of that is all you need to do is you need to deliver some materials to the drop-off point, and then boom, you can literally fast travel across the water instead of taking a side route through here, which just takes a little bit longer. Now, if you go into your contracts, I believe that, let's see, we got yeah, right there, consumables for the ferry. Now, really all you have to do to get this ferry crossing unlocked is 2 units of consumables from the farm. Now, the farm is not really all that far away. It looks like it is, but trust me, it's not. All you have to do is go through the side trail that essentially, I say side trail, but it's essentially a route through a river that is right here. And as long as you follow the rocks, you're gonna be okay. There's not really gonna be any issues with that. Now, once you have focused on getting that done, we're gonna actually recover back to the garage and leave the garage again so we can go over one of my next steps that I recommend. The next thing I recommend doing is heading up this mountain road here to where we're gonna actually find a rock slide. And some rock slides, I don't necessarily think you have to do them immediately on a lot of maps. This one, though, I highly recommend doing it because it's extremely difficult to get basically any trucks that are larger than a Scout around this rock slide before it's cleared. I've done it, it's just not what I would recommend, and it's not something that, frankly, I would want to deal with. I did it before, but I was like, you know, we were driving around the guardrail and it didn't work out very well. Now, this requires that you do I believe it is concrete slabs and service spare parts. Again, that one, the service spare parts, right across the river, and then concrete slabs, though, that's going to be a little bit more of a haul because you're going to have to go a little bit further out for that. But, again, not really all that big of a deal. Now, a little bit later on, you'll be able to rebuild this warehouse right here, and I don't know if it has slabs or not, but it has a lot of materials that are going to be super useful for you. So, before you get that unlocked, though, and you can do this with even a default Scout, it doesn't need to be a modded truck. You can actually drive up and over this guardrail right here, and if you're having trouble, you can actually just use the power pole right there as a little bit of a winch assist, drive around the rock slide, and then drive back over the guardrail and continue on up the mountain. Now, if you're scouting and you're just trying to get watch points out of the way, that is definitely a sort of more effective way to do it. Although, normally I don't get caught on the guardrail like that. I guess we have to go a little bit more directly. There we go. So as long as you go at it a little bit more directly, you'll be A-okay. So once you get up here, this is where you're going to be spending a lot of your time a little bit later on in your playthrough of this map, because once you come up this way, this road is essentially going to become a major transportation artery for you on the way up to the pipeline and one of the major refinery locations, because once you get up here, this is essentially like sort of this mountain peak area is how you're going to get to the other side of, I wouldn't call it a river, but the other side of the train tracks that are kind of sitting up on top of this mountain range. And that's going to become a very heavily used route for you, unless you want to spend your time going all the way around the long way, which I personally wouldn't recommend because it takes so incredibly long. Like, so incredibly long. Now, as we make our way a little bit further on up this way, the direction you're going to want to go for that watchtower is up here, and we'll go ahead and unlock that real quick before we make our way back to the garage. But if we go directly ahead and then we make a right, that is the route not only that's going to take us to the other watchtower, but that's a route that you're going to be using quite often, especially when you're carrying loads of cargo up to the pipeline. So definitely get used to heading that way, and also make sure you get that route explored fairly quickly so you have access to it on your map, and you also kind of know where you're going by the time you head up there with a bigger truck. So let's make our way up the door. Not. Come on. Please and thank you. I would really appreciate you staying in a gear. Like, sometimes some of these roads do not lend themselves well to SnowRunner's gearbox programming. Not necessarily the gearbox programming of this particular truck, just the way the SnowRunner automatic gearboxes react in general to the environment around them. So let's ease it on up this hill. Come on. God, I need to turn up the fuel on this thing. I've only got like one stage of upgrades. It's kind of on like a very mild tow tune, and I kind of want a little bit more beans out of it. Not gonna lie, this thing would be nice with a little bit more beans. So we're gonna get this watchtower unlocked real quick, and then we're gonna actually recover back down to the garage. We're gonna go across the water, and I'm gonna actually drive y'all on out to the farm so we can pick up those consumables and get the ferry boat unlocked. So up and over we go. And boom. And I'll go ahead and show y'all the cinematic shot, because this is one of the most beautiful cinematic shots in this entire DLC. Definitely one of my favorites. So now we're gonna recover back to the garage. We're gonna leave the garage, and we're gonna actually fire up that contract to unlock the ferry, which is consumables for the ferry, and that's, of course, going to grant us access to the gateway. Now, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to get a vehicle with a little bit of lift and, you know, decently sized tires. Grab yourself an off-road scout trailer, because it's fairly stable and it's not going to be rolling over on you all the time. So let's grab a... Come on, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Oh, my God. Scout trailer, off-road scout trailer. Did I go past it? No, I did not. Thank you. Oh, dude, that's perfect. Yo, my suspension is at the perfect height for that trailer. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Okay, and that's gonna be our drop-off point. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're gonna make our way on down through the water here. We're gonna get across the water. And then once we get across the water, I'm going to show y'all exactly how to get over to the farm so you can grab those consumables, bring them back, and have that ferry unlocked and ready to work. And just so y'all are completely aware of the route that we took, we left the garage from here. We crossed the water through here, through this little kind of outcropping of islands. I say islands, they're just little pieces of land. Up the boat ramp, left, right, left, across the bridge, across the second bridge, and then that brings us down right here where we are now, next to this barn and little hangar building, and that's going to bring us over to the farm loading area where we're going to pick up our consumables and then head on back to the ferry, drop them off, and that'll be good to go. We will literally have completed this this contract to unlock the ferry super easily. So let's get around the building and we'll get everything loaded up. Just easy there. Come on. I will say, slight side note though, especially for y'all that watched my coverage on the public test server, the frame rate on the public test server was way better than the release build of Season 10. It's kind of odd, actually. The public test server performed way better for whatever reason. All right, consumables, boom, boom. good to go. And now we can head on back. We can head on back to the ferry, get everything dropped off, and we're good. And then now all of a sudden the frame rate's good again. I have no idea. Okay, well, that's a sick photo though. We're gonna go ahead and grab it. That looks good. Yeah, I'm down for that. All right, let's make our way on back and drop these things off, and we will be adding that boat to our list of available logistics devices, I guess you would call it. And with that, we're about to get everything dropped off. We're about to get the ferry unlocked. And then once we do that, you can actually grow your operation into several other contracts that I would highly recommend knocking out. So let's go ahead and get that ferry gateway unlocked. And so now we're good to go. We've got this ferry unlocked. It's usable, it's workable, and now I recommend using this in essentially every single contract you will do. And then from here, what I recommend doing next is going out this way. So see this road right here? Go out this way and unlock the rest of this road and start to repair the power lines along that stretch. Because again, that will open up another very, very valuable stretch of road to help you in the future contracts on this map that will require more like large trucks, large trailers, and heavier hauling. But that has been a quick start guide for how to get started on the very first map in Season 10, especially now that it is available. And if y'all enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all next time.